Hey everybody, Josh Tovar here in Irving, Texas. Not in my regular to do at a home, but we're ready for the PGP podcast, episode 23. I'm here in a little conference there, Dr. Moreno. I see that you're done flying around all over the world, on the other side of the border, whatever it might be, but I'm glad that you're here. Welcome everybody to this beautiful show that we have our support team members, and they'll be coming on the call in a little bit. But it's more important. The most important thing is making sure that we hear their voice. We have bus drivers, people that work in the cafeteria, our head custodians, our attendance clerks, everybody. Because all we hear about the majority of the time in education are our principals, assistant principals, our teachers in the classroom. But you know what? The people that do all the hard work, all the support are our paraprofessionals, our custodians. You know who greets the kids every day? Our bus drivers. Those people are up, whether it's cold, whether it's raining, whether it's hot. They're prepping those buses before all of us are even waking up. And it's crucial that we hear them, we feel that love, and learn a little bit more about them. Hey, Mari, how are you doing?
Oh my God. Thank you, Josh. And you know what? I'm doing great. Look at my background. You can see my spiders up on the walls. I mean, I'm home. I am home and I'm so excited. I have not been home in 3 weeks. So I've crossed the border, came back, went back. I've been all over the place, but it is a great time for me because I get to sleep in my bed tonight. I'm super excited, but I'm only here for a couple of days because I'm off to East Texas later on in the week. So
All right, all right. Hey, noticing that? Are you noticing a little delay on me or a little delay on you?
no,
Okay, so everything's good, right? Because I'm
yep,
getting a little.
everything looks good.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. So you know what? We always start off with the Chinchilagua moment, but I decided to infuse a little retro moment, and the retro moment is with episode 17. Kevin Curtis. Kevin Curtis talked about discipline with respect. He's just about to come up with his book. So please tune into our episode 17 with Kevin Curtis, who talked about providing the students with those restorative circles, making sure that we don't use suspension, in school suspension, out of school, because that's what those kids want. We need to make sure that we rewire the way of their behavior to show them the love and the support that they need. So go back to episode 17 and check out Kevin Curtis. Remember that show?
I remember that show and it was so good too. I learned so much from that particular show myself. So I hope everybody goes back and watches it. Definitely.
Nice. And you know what? Chinchila was a game that we play there. I don't know what parts of Mexico, but I know we played in North Mexico. And Chinchila was a game where people, all the kids line up against a tree or a wall, and you yell Chinchila allá arriba, boy, and you jump, and it's really fun. It's a real fun. Everyone's trying to hold on, not to break the chain, but sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it hurts. All right. So that's why my thought today with the Chinchilagua moment is this. You know, a lot of us as team members, what we do is we need to have those extra funds, whether it be a coach, a UIL activity, whatever it might be. And we use those funds because schools don't have those allotments to go travel, right, Mari? Whether they
Sure.
want to go to cheerleading competition, whether they want to go to new uniforms that are not paid by
Exactly.
the district. And so you go and you sell cookie dough, you go and you sell the little tickets, the Pizza Hut, I mean, you name it, we buy it. And when you're an administrator, you're buying it from every organization.
Oh my
You
goodness.
go broke doing that. Well, my Chinchilla moment is this. Hey, let's make sure that we're all on board with those fundraisers. What do I mean by that? Hey, parents, I trust me, I understand because whenever my kid does a fundraiser, I just buy everything because I don't want him to go door to door. How much
Mhm,
money you have to turn
mhm.
in? I got it. I understand. But you know what? Let's not just pawn it off on the kid. Let it be a family event. Going and selling those cards, the popcorn. Go selling the popcorn, whatever it might be. Make it a family thing. Hey, UIL sponsor or a coach, I know that you give those kids that stuff, but you're responsible for that money. And
Absolutely.
you can't say, hey, I gave you $300 worth of cards. You need to give me $300. Are you hearing what you're saying? You're giving $300 worth of cards to a 15-year-old. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Just be realistic and make sure that you put the appropriate support to those kids. And then Sponsor, make sure you turn in that money daily because you know what? I've been in charge for a while of the schools and whatever it is. Hey, you know what the worst investigation is? When a team member says, I lost $200, insert the place. After the concession stand, I lost this. After this, I lost. It's not good. So we
Yeah.
know you're doing it for a good reason. We know you're doing it to make sure that your program becomes an A+ program, but everyone has a responsibility. Parents and kids working together, making sure you don't pawn it off only that what there's in fundraisers, Dr. Moreno, there's always one kid that does outdo everybody, right? Let's not just leave it to that one kid. Sponsor, make sure you do your paperwork before you start that fundraiser. Make sure you get the approval by the principal because you
By the
don't want five
principal. Mhm.
organizations selling chocolate bars. You know that's a no-no.
Exactly.
And make sure you turn in that money. Turn in that money daily. You don't want to be held responsible. And you know what? In education, the thing that gets you fired quicker than anything else is loss of funds. What do you think about that?
Oh my goodness. No, Josh, you're taking me back to my first year as a teacher because I was that sponsor who lost the $200 and I was so scared. I was so scared that my principal was going to fire me that I had to dish the $200 out because I was super scared that, someone was going to fire me because we hear those stories, you're going to get fired because, you lost money. So I get it. I completely get it. And the other thing, Josh, we have so many new students into our public schools, that are in, athletics or in sports or in different events, right? In different clubs. And it's the first time that they ever fundraise. So, that's the other thing is it's a teachable moment for not only the sponsors, but for the kids and the responsibility of taking care of that. So again, teaching kids how to do this. And with social media, oh my God, that has gotten so easy now because I see parents saying, hey, my child is selling popcorn or hey, my child is selling, and it's so much easier now as opposed to going door to door and trying to make your sales. So there's so many creative ways of doing it now. So I hope everybody out there listen to what Josh just finished saying, because I remember being a principal, Josh, and everything you said, I was getting a headache already because that's the last thing, that I want, right? I mean, if we can all just follow the rules, I even had it all spelled out in my handbook so that everybody knows, what are the procedures. And so if you don't know how to, ask your principal, ask your financial officer or your financial clerk, ask the secretary. They know everything. So find out what you
Exactly.
need to do so that you don't get yourself in trouble.
Well, let's not get in trouble because you know what? We have some awesome guests from here in the state of Texas, and we're going to bring them in, and they're our team. And everybody out there, I'm going to be moving around because I'm in a conference center in Irvine, Texas. And so the signal's a little bit spotty at times. So if I move around, don't get dizzy. But I got these great team members here. Welcome, panel. Welcome to the PGP podcast, episode 23. And we're going to go around and you're going to introduce yourself. All right. Tell a little bit about yourself, what role that you have currently. What's your current role in education? So tell them about who you are. Okay. And let them know. Now, don't go that deep because we got some other questions that go with that question. All right. So who you are, where you're working, and what you do at that moment. And then we're going to dive a little bit deeper in there. Let's start off with the head honcho of Del Valle High School, Diana Ayala, the head custodian. How
Hi, how
person.
you doing? My
Go.
name is Diana Ayala, and I'm the head custodian for Del Valle High School. Nice to meet you, everybody. I'm in El Paso, Texas.
All right. Carlos, talk to us.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Carlos Villalobos. I've been in education over 20 years. Started as a custodian, Diana. So that's awesome that your head custodian actually was a custodian. I started as a custodian. And I'm currently working as a child nutrition director. I've been an aide, a teacher, assistant principal, and principal. So I'm excited to be here with you all and learn from you all and also share some nuggets, like we say, right? Some information.
Love it. From Memorial Pathway Academy in Garland ISD, Ms. Faiza Bano.
Hi, my name is Faiza Bano. I'm the registrar at Memorial Pathway Academy in Garland, Texas. This is my 15th year with the district at
Well,
Memorial.
awesome. Normita, talk to us.
Hi, everybody. My name is Norma Garcia. I work for the Sled Independent School District as an attendance PIMS clerk. I'm representing my Hanks Middle School people.
There
I've
you
been in this for 16 years, going on my 17 this January.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Kashanta.
Hello, everyone. I am Kashianta Thurman, and I am the Administrative Assistant to the Chief of Technology for Ector County ISD in Odessa.
Beautiful. Melissa Melendez.
Hi, my name is Melissa Melendez. I work for Socorro Independent School District. I've been a bus driver for 16 years, and I'm from El Paso, Texas.
Thank you for introducing yourself to the audience. Take it away, Dr. Moreno.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. Just real quick, Ms. Thurman, you said you're chief of tech?
I am the Administrative Assistant for the Chief of Technology.
Okay. I'm trying to
Yes.
tailor my questions to fit the role. So thank you for sharing.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm super excited. We have such a wide array of folks today, and I'm super excited because as a former principal myself, okay, I would always say my bus drivers, my nutritionists, my custodians, my PIMS clerk, oh my God, they were always getting me out of trouble, right? And making sure that I was always in compliance. You guys are the heartbeat of the school. And I want to make sure that I first highlight that because many people sometimes forget who does all of the dirty work in our schools, right? Who really kind of rolls up their sleeves. And so first of all, I want to applaud all of you for doing the work that you do because you guys are amazing. So thank you. You guys are still working on it. I finally retired and Josh is right behind me one day. But we'll talk about that in another segment. But I want everybody out there in the audience to kind of know a little bit more about you. So let's kind of peel that onion back just a little bit
Let me give you a
and
minute.
tell me, how were you as a student in high school
just an
or
order.
any other learning institution that you have
You wanna ask
gone
him?
through? Okay, so just think of yourself. How were you in high school as far as a student? And we're gonna start off with Ms. Thurman.
Well, I enjoyed school. I was one of those that I was on the drill team. I graduated from Robert E. Lee High School in Midland, Texas. I was back then we were called Dixie Dolls. I was a Dixie Doll for 3 years. And really, especially being Lee, there was a lot of people that didn't look like me. There was only like 2 of us actually as Dixie Dolls for Robert E. Lee. So that was a different experience for me. And so being able to have that experience, just kind of made the gateway for me to understand that sometimes you have to create your own lane. Sometimes you have to kind of, steer away from the norm. And so, having that experience has led me to do what I'm doing today. I am the administrative assistant for the chief of technology, but I also have my own consulting business where I train secretaries. I train secretaries and frontline staff on the importance of the value of who they are in their roles. And so it all stemmed from, like I said, creating my own lane back in high school, doing something that was a little different for people that look like me.
Well, thank you for sharing, and it's nice, right? It's nice to kind of showcase the work that you're doing. Miss Ayala.
Well, let me tell you, when I was when I was in high school, I was coming from Mexico, zero English, and I was already 19 years old. So when they did that exam, that test that they do to see where they can place you according to how much English you speak, so they were gonna send me back to middle school, but I was only 19, right? I was like way past the high school level.
Uh-huh.
So I was most of the time confused, very quiet, very trying to finish high school. It was like pretty hard for me. I was like most of the time on the low, like, trying to figure out what people was talking about. But what I can tell you, without knowing the language, I finished high school in 2 years and a half. And I'm from the class of 2000 at from Jefferson High School here in El Paso, Texas. So that's the kind of student I was.
Okay, we'll learn more about that in just a little bit. So thank you for sharing. Mr. Villalobos.
That's a good question. So I think all of us, there's a time where you take school not very serious. So I was kind of the kid that got in trouble in middle school. I like to talk a lot. They get me in trouble a lot. So kind of living that now. I have a daughter, same thing. But I got real focused when I got to high school. I had a couple teachers. I think it just takes a couple teachers, a couple, even custodians, cafeteria, looking back on my high school career, on people that really made my day with their smile and made me welcome, in the high school and really take school seriously. And then I started doing really good in school, and I was able to finish high school in 3 years instead of 4 years. So I was just dedicated, and I was like, let's get this done quickly. But remember that I wasn't that A student. I was that student always getting in trouble. And now I'm the one that's working with those students, trying to motivate them. So just remember that everybody has a chance to be successful. You have someone believe
Awesome. Good advice. And we'll talk more about that. Miss Bano, registrar. Ah.
Yes. I was a goody good in school. I feel like I was always, throughout elementary, middle, and high school, I feel like I was always the teacher's pet. I always wanted to assist with her, always grade her papers or whatever they would be doing. I was on the shy side, so I kept my circle small. But yeah, I was a goody good in school. I didn't get in trouble.
Good. How about Miss Garcia, Miss Peems clerk?
Well, let me just start by saying this, that if I was in attendance back then, I would be at my house with the truant officer every day. Yeah, I wasn't a problem kid, but, I was coming also from Mexico. I was born and raised in Ciudad Juarez, Chihuahua. So I came here when I was 16. So it was very hard for me, the language. I knew the basic, back then in the secundaria, we had like an English teacher. But we knew the basic, so once here, I don't know if it was a lucky shot for me, but I met someone who was after me all the time. It was an African-American guy that used to send me letters. That was the Snapchat or the Facebook at that time, right? So he used to write me letters. So I used to read them, and I'm very stubborn, so I wanted to know what he was writing. So I had someone kind of like translate it, and I used to answer him in English. So I guess that was one of my, my points that I had learning English that fast. But yeah, attendance wasn't my best, like the last year of my high school. But yeah, my freshman, sophomore, and junior, I was very good. It wasn't an A student, but I was doing good.
Good. And last but not least, Miss Melendez.
Well, I wasn't a bad kid either. I just I was bullied a lot in school, so I did drop out, got my GED. So what I do now is I educate my kids on the bus the importance of being bullied. That it's not correct. For them to speak up. I try to have that communication with the kids so they can see if I see anything that's going on the bus or somebody is getting bullied on the bus, to make sure I address it to them, talk to them, that it's not correct. And I really love bus driving, teaching the kids.
Awesome. I just want to remind everybody out in the audience, we have folks from all over outside of teachers, right? I think it's important for us to really hear what you have to say about your roles and how you support our students. And so again, thank you everybody. Again, we have custodians, we have a nutrition director, registrar, PEEMS, an administrative assistant that works with chief of technology, and a bus driver. So folks out there, if you have any questions for any of these people on our panel today, I encourage you to please write on the comments so that we can definitely highlight your question today.
All right. I'd like to welcome part of the Fantastic Four, Sean Hurt. He starts off the Fantastic Four on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Coach, thank you for being here. And Miss Tally, thank you for being here again tonight. Hey, team, I'd like to ask you a question because this is an educator's podcast. I want you to share with the audience who inspired you as who was your educator that inspired you? Who motivated you or put that spirit in you while you walked those hallways? Because yeah, we heard the stories. Some of you had some discipline issues, like myself, but we always had that individual. So who inspired you within the hallways that you walked, and what do you feel that's number one? Who inspired you? Why? And the second part is, what do you think today? What do you think kids need today? To keep that motivation like you received it. All right. So this question is, who inspired you and why? Why did that person inspire you? And right now, since you work with kids every single last day, what do you think that they need to maintain that focus, that ganas to move ahead? Carlos.
Well, I think it's a great question. I think I played sports in school, in middle school and high school. So anybody that's played sports, I had a couple coaches that really pushed me to be good in the field, but also in the classroom. And I remember I had a coach named Coach Barscala, actually, and he was like, you got to do good in school. You don't have your grades. I mean, he just really believed in me and saw something in me that I didn't know I had. And so I started doing really good in grades, staying after practice, coming early, being on time. And I think a lot of times what kids need, like you mentioned, Josh, is just an individual, a champion. It can be from the cafeteria. It can be a bus driver. It can be in the office, custodian, teacher, principal, someone that's going to believe in them, and someone when they sees them, it can kind of get them excited. They want to be there and really push them to be their best. Because I think all of us have had someone in our lives that have done that, and we didn't know we had it in it until someone helped us see it. And so like that saying says, everyone needs a champion adult, right? One adult away from having a success and being successful. And I think that's something that the kids need today. And I think all of us on this podcast are that in whatever fields we're in and whatever positions we're in. We do that at our campuses. And I'm sure there's many of champion educators that do that across the state of Texas and in everywhere, right? So I think that's what we kind of need.
Beautiful words, Carlos. Muchas gracias. Normita.
There was some person that I met at Bel Air High School when I started working there, and she's still in education. Right now, she's a counselor, an outstanding counselor. Her name is Miss Laura Lickridge. I met her when I was a student at Bel Air High School, and she was my counselor there. And still, I met her again. I met her when I was at Bel Air working, and she was my coworker also. She's just an outstanding person, an awesome counselor. I think that the kids nowadays need more communication with the adults. I mean, we don't know what they're going through, and it's very sad, me as an attendance, to hear parents, going into campus saying, my kid is going to be out for so many days because, they were admitted to a mental health clinic. I do believe that they need more communication with adults, not only with the parents itself, but with the counselors, with the teachers. We just need to find out, what's really wrong with them, or, just listen to their concerns or to their feelings, so that way maybe we can understand what's wrong with them.
Beautiful, Norma. Thank you for sharing. Melissa.
The person that inspired me came a little later in life for me, and one of them is you, Mr. Tovar, and another one is Miss Angie Soto. I don't know. I talk to my coworkers at work every day about almost all the time about you, and I tell them that you were such an awesome boss, and you were one to tolerate no gossiping. You stopped everything, when it was supposed to be stopped, and so that's what I really liked about you. And then just the motivation you give me when you send me emails, how are you doing, and chale ganas, and that really does help out a lot. And Miss Angie Soto, she's another one. She's my union rep right here in Socorro, and she's also another lady that really we talk a lot. She gives me advice. I go to her and I ask her questions if I don't know something, and she's just a really nice lady who motivated me as well. So what I would tell like these kids is I try to like Norma said, just communicate with them more, because a lot of them are just home alone by themselves. They don't have the parents' guidance, or so for me important is like she said, just communicate. And I always tell them, stay in school. And because since I didn't go to school, I try to motivate them, say stay in school, do good, get good grades, stay out of trouble. Because a lot of these kids that I talk to on the bus, they're always in truant's office, or they're always or they're ditching. And I try to motivate them and tell them not to skip school. That is very important.
Well, Melissa, thank you. I appreciate your words. And very kind of you. Thank you. Welcome to Chapter 2, person number 2 of the Fantastic Four, Shika Houston, part of the Doctors with Tammy Taylor. Thank you for being here, being part of the Fantastic Four. Faiza Bano, talk to us.
Hi. So for me, it was my high school counselor. I was just going to do high school. I had no plan to go get a college or anything like that. She really pushed me. She's retired now, Miss Duncan. But she pushed me to go get she was like, just start off with your college degree. She's like, go get a college degree. And after that, she was like, if you can do your college, go for your bachelor's. And she kept pushing me, even though I was like, no, I wouldn't be able to do it. But she was the one who I feel like really pushed me in getting my bachelor's degree. For students, I feel like they need more one-on-one attention. I feel like they need to be looked at more individually, so we can help each student individually, and then that would, make a change.
Thank you, Paisa. Kashanta?
Well, for me, what comes to mind is I have 3 individuals in mind. For me, my first one is my 3rd grade teacher, Miss Baeza. Miss Baeza was such a wonderful lady in my life. I remember her vividly. She came to my baby shower, my 3rd grade teacher. And we lost touch, but she was able to meet my son when he was 2 years old. And so that's a connection that I will never forget. She was one of the first educators that made me see myself and made me see the value in myself, which brings me to my next person, who is Robert Cedillo. He was one of my executive directors at ECISD. He's moved on to become a deputy superintendent for Midland ISD. But again, I wasn't just a secretary to him. I wasn't just his administrative assistant. I was truly part of his inner team, and he valued my opinion. I talked through things with him. Mm-hmm. And so he showed me my place at the table, and why it's important to know that I have a place at the table. Yes. And that a degree and a title doesn't make you, it doesn't make you, basically. Exactly. And then the 3rd person is my husband. My husband is a football coach. And when I say that man is passionate about his kids, when it comes to his kids, I know my place, right? I know my place. We've been married 19 years. He's been a coach for 26. And I can honestly say it's not just about the win on Friday nights. We go to baby showers, we go to weddings, we go grocery shopping for these kids. He is truly a person that believes it's not about the uniform, it is about the person. And I've seen him walk individuals through life. I mean, he's got kids that's graduated that have become coaches based off of their experience with Coach Thurman. And so for the students, I believe one of you just said that it's the personal connection that these kids need to know, that we see them, we see the individual. It's not just about the scores. It's not just about the grades. It's not just about making sure that we win district or we make it to state. It really is about that person, that individual, and getting to know them, getting to know who they are as an individual and what their needs are. I mean, I have a 16-year-old, and so I need the educators to understand the power that they have over these students. that you really do have the power to make or break a spirit. And so we need to take the time to take a breath when we're dealing with these individuals, because as adults we know how hard life is. Imagine what they're going through. And so
Mhm.
we need to take the time to stop and look at the individual.
Beautiful. Thank you. Jefa de jefes, Diana, talk to us.
Híjole. Well, the person that really, and you know who I'm going to talk about, and that's going to be my physical science teacher, Miss Tovar, paz descanse. She was a type of person to like feel you welcome and then to give you the vámonos, vámonos, what are you doing? No parking, no parking. That type of person, it makes you feel welcome to a new experience that you want to learn more, no matter how short your vocabulary is, no matter what you're going through. She will make you feel at home when you're at school. I think we need more teachers like that. And when it comes to when I have students around me, I try to make them feel welcome around me in a way that when they ask me for something, try to help them at the moment so they remember whenever they're going through something hard, they'll remember that the custodians were going to give them a hand, whatever they're going through. Even if they just need a quarter to buy, let's say, a bag of chips,
Yes.
you go look for me because they know that I'm there to help them out, to give them the help that they're looking for at the moment.
Yes.
Diana, thank you. And my mama up in heaven sends you a besito. Thank you.
Wow. You know what? You know what the common theme that I heard right now was relationships. How Miss Thurman, how she made you feel and how you were welcome to the table, right? Miss Ayala, the connection. Mr. Villalobos. So everybody had that relationship with somebody. And I think that's important because sometimes kids will gravitate to the folks that they feel most connected to. And I can tell you, I know some students that would run, just like Miss Ayala just said, would run to uh, the head custodian or to one of the custodians who would always give them that extra candy or had that, those bags of chips somewhere, or they just wanted a hug. Sometimes they just need, to be loved. So thank you so much again for sharing your stories. Um, I want you guys to help the audience know a little bit more about what you do on a daily basis because many times people don't connect your role to how we support our students. So I want you to describe to the audience out there, what do you do on a daily basis to help students and what brings joy to your life when you're at work? And I want to start off with Miss Melendez.
Um, my thing is, I love being a bus driver. I just like to see the kids each morning when they get on the bus and, greet them. And, they're so funny. And, it makes my day, my morning go by. And when they, like you said, they're always asking if we have something. They come out hungry at 3 o'clock. They want food. So I try to keep snacks for them to give them, even though we're not supposed to, but I still do it because then you see all those cute little faces and you can't say no to them. So, so that's what I like about my job is that I get to see every one of them. And they're all different. Some of them are sad. Some of them are happy. Some of them, you kind of say what's going on today. Try to motivate them to be happy. Everything's going to be okay. And so that's what I like about my job are my kids. Like I love driving. I love to drive. So that also it motivates me to get up in the morning because I love my job. I like what I do and I like to interact with the kids. So that's what I like about my job.
Miss Melendez, do you transport students that are in middle, high school, elementary?
Yes, I transport all. Depends
All
on
three
the route.
levels.
Yes. Yeah, last year I had just high school, middle school, and some little ones. This year I have the overflows that don't fit in the school, so those are just pure elementary. So I don't have a high school this year nor a middle school. But that's why. But I transport all type, even like, no, I don't want to say the bad kids because it's not, but the ones that go to like keys and all that. So we get all
Alternative.
type of, yeah, it's all
Mhm,
homeless kids,
mhm.
and so we get all types of kids that we transport all over the school. But there's no such thing as a bad kid. They're all good. We all have good kids.
I love the fact that we have you on the panel today because there's so many kids that you get to see them first thing in the morning, right? And so having that smile on your face, and welcoming them really
Yes.
makes a difference,
It
right?
does. It does make a difference on the kids because if they see you all mad, all down, then you don't have that connection with them, and you want to have that connection with them in case not be afraid of you if they have a problem going on or they need help or they need something. Have that relationship with them as a driver and a student. To be able to identify anything if they want something, need something, or anything I can help them in. So it's nice to have that connection with them.
That connection. Awesome, awesome. Ms. Garcia, as a PEMS clerk, oh my goodness, let me tell you, you have all the data and the compliance and everything, right? So, I mean, you have some heavy um, lifting to do, right? So, how do you see yourself in this role?
I don't know if you guys have heard of that saying, back in the day when they tell you you're the milusos. Well, that's kind of me. Yeah, I mean, we help out each other, there, all the other clerks and myself included. But yeah, I do attendance PIMS. So it's basically all rosters for teachers, the substitute rosters, all the medical notes, the call-ins, the sign-outs, you name it. I'm in charge of all the court related issues. So I do the court paperwork for my truant officer, conference letters, home visits, address verifications. So yeah, there's like a lot of paperwork involved. And the morning, I mean, we start school at 8:30 in the morning. So I get to know a lot of the kids, because we have those kids that are always late, so it's kind of our usual kids, so they're kind of like, oh yeah, there's Miss Garcia there looking at me getting late again, so we get to meet all the regulars, like I call them, you're my regular.
Mhm.
Miss, how do you know my name? Well, you're here every single day, like on the dot, but
I used to call them frequent flyers.
yes, that's what I call them. Exactly, exactly. I mean, I'm right at the door, so I can see them already. When the parents drop them off at the door, so I'm already writing the pass. I mean, then they haven't even told me their names. I mean, don't ask me what I cooked this morning because I won't remember, but I'll remember all those kids' names and phone numbers and addresses. You name it. It's crazy. It's just it's just very weird. Yeah, I mean, but you get to have that connection with the kids as well. Because I mean, you get to know a little bit of their story or
The
history with the
story.
parents. Yes. When they come in, you're like to, it depends on the face that they have on in the morning when they arrive. Some of them even get there crying, because, I mean, they're upset because the parent were kind of like, hurry up, you're late. Or, so I kind of want to know what type of face they have when they go into the building, and I
Yeah.
try to make conversation with them. It's like, again, why are you late? And then they give me the whole story. Yeah, I believe it. I'm gonna call your mom, or I try to make it funny for them. If I see them very
Absolutely.
upset, I kind of like call a counselor or ask them, you want to see someone, just take a seat, or yeah, we kind of pull them apart. We don't want to send them to class like that. But
And that brings you joy because I'm looking at your facial expression and I can
yes.
see how much you absolutely love doing that.
Yeah, no, and the kids get to know you, I mean, it's the first face that they see in the morning when they arrive, most of them. So, yeah, you get
Mhm.
to create a connection with a lot of the kids, so that's nice. I mean, it's just, I mean, you get to know the parents as well, not all the time. It's a very nice, approach for them, I mean, they just think we take attendance. I mean, we just
Mhm.
code it, but we don't take it,
Yes.
It's like, yeah, so, but yeah, it's all good. Yeah, it's all good. It's a good experience overall.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Mr. Villalobos. I mean, child nutrition. Oh my goodness. I can probably just have a podcast just with you to talk about, food and how people like and dislike, and talk to me about, to the audience, what you do on a daily basis and then what brings you joy.
Sure, it's kind of like that cartoon when you're a principal and the kid writes, "What do you do all day? Just eat donuts, right? Just drink chocolate milk all day." No, I'm kidding. But I've been in child nutrition now, director for 3 years, and I used to be a principal, so it's kind of night and day. But what I do is I stop by all the schools. I think in any type of role that you're in, visibility is super important as a leader. So I like to visit all the schools. I try to get to as many schools as I can, whether that's breakfast time, lunchtime. And I just want to give a shout out to all of the cafeteria ladies, all of the child nutrition across the state of Texas. I mean, they are superheroes, just like our custodians, our head custodians, and all of you. I mean, didn't understand what magic was until I went to go see them prepare food and do it in such an awesome manner and so quickly and try to, and with all of the compliancy that we have as a state of Texas, it's very difficult to try to make this food taste good without no salt and no seasoning and no different things, right? So it's hard, but they work their magic. And if you notice, I'm sure in all your schools, the cafeterias do a great job to provide meals. So I visit all the schools. I usually will hang out for a breakfast or a lunchtime. I like to be with the kids. I'm just like all of you. I think the kids make my day, even staff, just checking in with them, getting feedback from them, asking them how their day's going. Sometimes we'll sit with the kids during lunchtime and just kind of talk with them and just check on the food. We'll check on the food, make sure everything's good, how we can improve, make it better. I'm real big also on just making sure the presentation looks good. A lot of times kids don't want to eat because it looks a little suspicious, like they say, like sus, like the kids say. But we want to make sure that it doesn't look sus for them. And we want to make sure it looks good and present it real fresh, everything. And if we got to pack the different foods to make the fruit or vegetables look more enticing for them to take, because we also noticed after COVID, I came into this role after COVID, a lot of kids don't want to touch a vegetable or fruit. It doesn't matter how it looks or how it is a salad. They just don't want to touch it. So we're trying to find ways to make it, to be innovative with that so that kids will want to eat fruits and vegetables and just help them understand the importance of eating salads and fruit and vegetable throughout the day, because they have long days, whether they're elementary, middle, or high school. Yeah. And just like adults, we got to eat, right? Because what happens when you don't eat, even as adults, I know probably Josh and you all get all hangry, right? So when you don't eat, so you need to make sure we eat. But that's just kind of like a quick day of my day. And
hey, Mr. Villalobos, I went to a school, I was visiting a school and I was passing by the cafeteria and they were actually giving out little packets of Tajín.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow, that is pretty cool. I wish I had Tajín when I was in school.
Yeah, a lot of the teachers don't like it, but it's a way to get the kids to want to eat. And it's a low sodium Tajín, so it actually has low salt. So it makes kids want to eat. So fruit and vegetables. So yeah, we do Tajín packets, and we also do a fresh salad bar in our district.
Hey, Carlos.
Yeah.
Can you tell that person in Wisconsin, because we tend to forget, can you tell that person in Iowa what Tajín is, please?
So Tajín
I need to bring it.
It's just a little seasoning of chili, and it has kind of like a tint of lime in it. And it makes any vegetable. You can put on cucumbers, watermelon. It's delicious. If you haven't tried it, that should be your homework for after this podcast, is to find yourself some Tajín. And if not, I can get
go to Amazon.
Yeah.
They can sell it on Amazon.
There you go.
All right, let's not forget our audience, guys. All right, it's not all Hispanics. All right, it's a World Wide Web. All right, let's educate everybody.
Are you kidding me? I carry Tajín in my briefcase now because everywhere I go, I need to have my Tajín. So if I'm in Africa, I'm going to take my Tajín with me because I'm not going to find it there.
There you go. But you got to try it. It's really good for you. But that's a little bit about how the day is for me in child nutrition.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Ms. Manos, registrars. So tell the audience, how do you support students daily and what brings you joy?
Well, as a registrar, most of my day is behind a computer or files. I do enter the course completions. We have a lot of students who do Edgenuity on our campus. So entering those course completions in or working on transcripts. To bring joy, I would say, is for me to go actually see the students, because I'll know all the names, I'll know their ID numbers, but to be able to put a face to that name is what I'd be like, oh, okay, I know now what this student is, what grade they're in, and put a, face to the name behind that's what I would say brings me joy, just to go. So a lot of times I'll do it during cafeteria, during the students' lunchtime. I'll go and I'll see, what, whose student is what, That's what
Well,
I
I
like.
like the fact that you go out into the cafeteria and look for the kids, right? Because
Yes.
that's so important. And you have such a big job. A registrar is huge. Are you in the high school?
Well, it's middle and high school.
Middle and high school.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, I mean, even a big job, right? Because you're all about the credits, and you're the one who
And the
certifies
data
it.
and all the
So
entry. You have to stay focused and detailed. Yes.
I love it. I love it. Miss Ayala, talk to me.
Well, for me, it's the beginning. It's opening the gates, turning the lights on, making sure everything is clean, the paint of the building, the windows, fire extinguishers, making sure the restrooms are clean all day, especially when they're finished with the breakfast. Make sure there's no
Oh,
spills or anything that can cause, like, for someone to have a slip and fall accident. The grounds of the school, you name it, organizing the calendar just to make sure that if we're going to have a sports event, we have someone available. We're everywhere. I have 18 custodians. They're
wow.
my beautiful people. They always know what to do, who to call. They're always on their toes, like looking around. And I think we once you finish the first 9 weeks, you can see like so many faces, and then you become familiar with the students. Sometimes you're like, oh,
Mhm.
and they tell you buenos dias, good morning, and they go, hey, bis, ¿cómo está? That
Ah,
kind of little, like, saying hi, and it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're like welcoming the students, and we're everywhere. We're everywhere. Temperatures, you name it, we're there. And in my job, at the beginning, I used to think, why there's always so many people here in the building? They don't let me clean. They don't let me do my summer cleaning. Why there's always people here? But then
yeah.
with the time, you learn that it's good. It's good that you have people there. You get to learn how to work around people. At the beginning, I used to think I would love for them to work around me. But then little by little, you learn to work around them, and you learn to love this profession.
That is so true. And I always tell my custodians, right? It's like your second home, right? And when you are taking care of the school, it's like you're always looking at the little details. I know my house, I mean, you can tell the background already. I'm always into the details, and I know just listening to what you were saying, it's just you tend to those little details because it is like your second house because you want your children to be in a clean environment that is like their second home, right? So that is so special. Thank you. Thank you. And last but not least, Miss Thurman, talk to me. Tell me about tell the audience what you do on a daily basis and what brings you joy.
Okay, so I am now with the Chief of Technology, and I've been in this position for about a year and a half. Before that, I worked for the leadership department, which supported our principals and the secretaries on the campus. And
Mhm.
we're a fairly big district. We're about 40,000 students, about 5,000 employees. And so on a daily basis, it was problem solving. We handled the parent concerns, we'll call them, not complaints. We handle the
Mhm.
parent concerns. We handle, I kind of helped the secretaries with anything, any questions that they had, just kind of walk them through their day. And so now with technology, it's a different type of problem solving. So it's all things technology, right? Because our whole day is built off of technology. Everything we do, all the apps, all the software that we use. The PEMS department, our
I was gonna just say, point. Look at her right there.
we do focus, all of just everything that has to do with your computer, with your smart board, with your
Mhm.
telephone system. So it's all day long. It's problem solving, just whatever problems come up, whether it be with the parents, with the concerns, with the principals, with the secretaries, or with your computer. So all day long, and no 2 days look the same. They look
True.
the same. And so you just have to kind of be ready for anything. And so I enjoyed that you are constantly learning. Like you've never come to a place where you have all the answers every time. You know, sometimes the answer is, let me get back to you on that. You know, thank you for that. Let me get back to you on that. But being able to learn on a daily basis and being able to contribute. And so again, that's one of the reasons why I've been blessed to be in the position that I'm in, to be able to coach and consult, because I'm constantly learning and growing, and then again getting to share, meeting wonderful people, like this. We had just one of our custodians just recently moved, and God, I tell you, even though she's been replaced and our new custodian is great. Oh my gosh, like everybody is like, where is Miss Barbara? You know, I mean, you know that everybody has a place and a position, and everybody brings something to the table, right? We
Exactly.
all have something to add. And so just being able to go and to know that, you know, Miss Barbara's going to be there, Mr. Josh is going to be there, that you have that support from everybody, because everybody's position is important and everybody's position is needed to make this machine go. And so that's just one of the joys about being able to, you know, being in my position, problem solving on every hand and learning something new every single day.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Great. And you know, it's so true, Kashanta. When Diana left Bel Air, a high school, to become the lead person at Del Valle, it was felt.
Yeah.
It was felt. Like,
Yeah.
they know when you're A plus, they know. They know. So real quick, guys, you don't have to elaborate that much, but there's always a perception, like Carlos says. What does the principal do all day? Eat donuts. All right. There's a perception out there, right? Yeah, my cheeks give it away. Yes, we do. But let's real quick tell, because you've heard this from other paras, from other people in the district, from parents. Maybe teachers don't know what misconception is out there about your job. You know, just say, hey, we don't do this. No, principals don't eat donuts all day. That's a misconception, right? So I'm just putting that out there. So, Kashanta, get rid of some of those misconceptions. Give them one.
I think one of the main things, and this is something that I teach on in my classes, is that everybody just says, well, you're just the secretary. And what they don't understand is that oftentimes the secretary is the gatekeeper, right? Like, we know where all the bodies are buried. They have to come to us for the shovel. So you probably want to be a little bit sweeter because I'm your in, right? So I think that's the misconception, is that a secretary is just there to answer the phones and to take messages. And it is so much more than that. We are the heartbeat. We are the foundation of that organization. And, you know, again, it's the, you know, it's not the little people, but it's that support staff, the custodians, the secretary, the person that does the parking lot, right? You meet 10 different people before you get to that principal, before you get to that superintendent, before you get to that executive. So again, everybody matters. That's the misconception, is that there are no little people. Everybody matters.
Beautiful. Thank you. Paisabano, what's a misconception?
I would say with it is, since a lot of my work, or a lot of the work, is behind the scenes, a lot of people don't realize how much data needs to be put in order for anything to happen. You know, in order for the kid to graduate, those credits have to be in. Who puts those in? So since it's mine's digital, I feel like, you know, it's all electronic, that they don't realize just because we don't have anything physical there, there's still so much we're putting into the system.
Beautiful. Thank you. Melissa, what's a misconception?
For us drivers is that we're just bus drivers. All we do is sit and drive the kids. So that's ours, that we don't do nothing. But they don't understand that sometimes we carry 50, 60 students. We're mom, dad, we're nurse, we're counselors, we're everything at that moment, when from them throwing up to my stomach hurts, and call the nurse, call, you know, the custodian, call everybody, because, you know, they, you know, so that's the misconception that they have, is that we don't, all we do is drive, and They don't understand that we have to deal with the traffic, the cars cutting us off. When we have our stop sign out, the cars not respecting the stop sign when a student is crossing the road. So, but all we are just bus drivers. But no, we have an important role in driving. Keeping out for our kids when they're crossing the street, or so it's very important that we're not just there sitting. We have a precious cargo on the back that we carry.
Yes. And hey, parent, I don't care if you're late. That's your fault. Don't ignore the stop sign.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yes, parents, stop it. It's your fault if there's an accident. Carlos, what's a misconception?
Just kind of piggyback on what Melissa said. I think operations, just the child nutrition, bus drivers, custodians, maintenance, security. They kind of their perception is that they don't do much. They just kind of just hang out and just really don't do much, right? They just kind of, and it's nice, but no, the conception is working with all of them, and they do a lot. So like you talked about, Miss Thurman, they're the heartbeat of the school, whether it's the cafeteria lady, the bus drivers, the custodians, the front office, the PEMS clerk. Without them, you're going to be in trouble. So just making sure that you value them, thank them. And if you need anything, go to them. They will help you. Like, I think the perception is, I can't go to this head custodian, or I can't go to the bus driver. I can't go to the front office. I can't go talk to the cafeteria manager because I'm afraid they're not going to help me. But trust me, all those people are there because they love what they do. They have a passion for kids and their community, and they will help you with everything. So it's just the perception is we have awesome people in operations, and we need to take care of them because they pretty much run a lot of times the schools in the districts.
Thank you, Carlos. Normita, what's a misconception for attendance clerks?
Well, let me just start by saying we are just not the attendance clerk, nor the registrar, nor just the secretary. We are the battery for your device. We are the chip for your memory. So if you forget something, we know it all. That's all. We know it all. We are the first people that meet the student or the parent, the outraged and the enraged, and every parent that goes. We are the ones that take those, insults and the bad words, and we are the ones that call you or text you right away. Hey, Mr. Tovar, there is this parent and wants to fight you. So you're going to be already, with your shield, because I already gave you advice. Put that shield on, Mr. T, because they're coming for you. So, yes. So, yeah, we are not just those people. And we are not sitting in front of a computer for 8 hours shopping. Believe me, my 8 hours go like that, sir. Because, yeah, all I do all day long, it's code, PEMS, attendance, rosters, call-ins, login, everything. So, yeah, my 8 hours go fast, So, yes, please just have some love for us, like a lot of love. We're the chip, remember?
And Normita did give me a lot of heads up. And FISA gives me heads up. Thank you very much. Diana, what's a misconception?
The number one is, how come you're not answering the phone in your office? If you don't answer the phone, it's because you're probably doing nothing. Well, it's because I'm not in the office all the time. So yeah, probably I'm running around. Send me a message to my cell phone. Yeah, but that's why you have the office phone. How come you're not answering your email? It's because I'm not in the office. So yeah, that's one of the misconceptions that we go through very often.
Thank you, guys.
So I know we're coming almost to the end, but it's very important for us to always look for help, right? So just give me one piece of information or a specific support that you ask for or that you would like to ask from one of your stakeholders, whether it be admin or parents or whatever. What is one piece of support that you are asking? And I'm going to ask Ms. Garcia because you're a little feisty, so I want to hear you first.
Well, you just have to be, ma'am. You have to be a little feisty, I like just to let them know that, I know that the teachers have 20 plus kids or probably 30 plus kids every single time. Every period of the day, but we have 1,000 plus kids, all for us. It's 2 attendance clerks for us in the office, and it's 1,000 plus kids, So yeah, we have to just advise for them to just have us a little patience, and yeah, we're on it. We're always on it. You know, I like to run reports, and I believe me when I tell you that I know who's absent for 3 days in a row. I know. Yeah. So, so just patient, and I just appreciate every teacher on my campus, every administrator on my campus, and I know that, they're working hard too. I know you're not just eating donuts like Mr. T says. I know, but yeah, just have us a little patience, because it's a lot of kids, and we have the 1,000 kids just for us. And you have like probably those 1,000 kids too. I mean, but you have them on a period of time. We have them all at the same time.
At the
So
same time.
just a little bit of patience.
A little bit of patience.
Yes,
Awesome,
and just
awesome.
respect each other's positions there.
Ms. Banos, since you're kind of in the same kind of wheelhouse, what kind of support are you looking for?
I've been really, really blessed. I have really good support. I mean, I'm at Memorial and I get really good support. If I need anything, I've been blessed. That's what I'm gonna say. So I have really good support. I wouldn't be able to say I would need more. I just get a lot of support.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So you're good.
Yes.
Ms. Thurman, how about you? What kind of support are you looking for from, any of your stakeholders?
Well, I think one of the main things is that, especially in the school districts, I think that we need to invest in our front line more. A lot of the time when we look at professional learnings, they want to train the teachers, the counselors, the supervisors, the principals, but we really don't invest in our front line.
I agree.
And so, finding trainings that pertain to them, like customer service, professional development is not a one size fits all. And so you can't just throw them in a training where the teachers and the principals are. I think that we need our own professional development that speaks to our positions. And so that's one of the things that I've created is speaking to our frontline staff, speaking to those first faces, the first impression, the first voice, the first face that you hear and see. So the support, I think we need more support in investing in our frontline specific to them.
I love that. And thank you for kind of showcasing that, right? And letting other people know, because we need to hear that. So thank you. Ms. Melendez.
I think that we need, I hear a lot at my work is that we need a lot of support from our director. We don't have his support in something, we go to him with questions or concerns, and, we don't have that. And if you don't have that relationship with your boss, it's really hard for you to go and, ask them for the help, because then you just are like, they don't do anything anyways. But our boss is this, our boss is that. So he needs to have that connection. And I think that that's very important because if, we do our job correct, he looks good, and if we don't do our job, he looks bad, and so right now at my work, that's what we need is for our director is more support from him, that we have his support, we have that confidence with him, and we don't have it. So I think to me it's very important that, he should have more of that relationship with his staff and get to know us,
And get to know.
He doesn't know.
Say that.
He doesn't know half of us there, So I think it's very important that he gets to know his staff as we get to know our kids.
Absolutely.
So to me, it's very important is knowing your staff.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Mr. Villalobos.
Yeah, I would just add two things. I think a lot of times people just want to be treated as a professional. I think something that I've learned in different roles, doesn't matter if you have a degree or not. I think that was mentioned earlier. Treat everybody as a professional. I know it's that saying, treat the way you want to be treated. You want respect. You talked about that. You need to give respect. But treat everyone as a professional. And if you do, you'll be surprised to see how they even carry themselves different. I've seen that. If I go and talk to a cafeteria manager or cafeteria staff or another employee, maintenance worker or bus driver, whatever, and I say, hey, I need your help with this, but I don't talk to them professional, then I don't really have their attitude is different with me, right? They don't really want to help me out. They're like, okay, director, don't talk to me. But I'm going to teach you and treat you like a professional. And then that goes back to one other thing is a communication. I think there has to be a communication both sides. I have to over communicate, and that's from a campus level to whether you're a principal. I think learning that, I think as a principal, you think you're communicating well, but you're not. as a director or a supervisor, you think you're communicating, but just that communication has to be very clear. And like you mentioned, I think that your team has to feel comfortable going to you if they have questions, because sometimes people are scared to ask for help, or I can't ask Diana because she's gonna get mad at me, or I can't ask Mr. Tovar because he's gonna get mad at me. No, like I'm just giving an example of Diana, but I know you're not like that. but we want to be open, and they want to say, hey, I'm gonna go ask her I'm gonna ask her because I know they're gonna help me out. So communication and being professional with each other, I think, are two things that we can ask for.
Awesome. And last but not least, Miss Ayala.
I'm gonna agree with Mr. Villalobos. Yes, having different
Communications and professionalism.
having different administrators for so many years, you learn from them. And one of the things that some of them give, it's listening, understanding what you asking for, and then as little as taking 5 minutes to ask you, how are you doing? How is your crew doing? What is it that you need the most so we can do better as a team? I think that's very important.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great ideas, suggestions, thoughts. And it's that time. It's the Échale Ganas time. Lightning round. This is not like 30 hours, guys. It's a lightning round. So this is the PGP podcast, Puras Ganas podcast. And if you're seeing this for the first time in Wisconsin, Ganas is a spiritual word for all Hispanics all over. This is what great grandmothers used to tell their daughters. They tell their kids, uncles tell their kids. Everyone tells that to each other. Doesn't matter what. It's an inspiration. There is no equate in Encyclopedia Britannica. There is no grit. Grit is not equal. I despise when people say grit. It is not grit. Ganas is a spiritual word. And so I want you guys with your answers right now to make sure que le echen ganas. I want you to motivate and inspire those educators that are returning from intercession, from break. We're taking off to break, wherever it is, but you need to inspire people. So here we go. We're going to get started up there. Con la jefa, con Diana. Here we go. Ready, Diana? Lightning round. No rollo, eh?
No,
Wait.
ready.
Here we go.
Be humble, échale ganas, have empathy for the others.
Diana.
Yes.
No tu show, es mi show. Espérate la question. Espérate, no eres head custodian del podcast.
I was gonna go super fast.
Espérate. I gotta ask you, then you say it.
Okay.
Dios mío. Question number 1. Give advice to either a new teacher or an administrator.
Be humble, have empathy. Take time to get to know the people that works with you.
Beautiful. Read a note, an email, a text from a teacher or a student that inspired you.
You know what? It was so many people at Del Valle. I was the employee of the year, and everybody told me how they feel about me, and it feels amazing.
Beautiful. Send some flowers to an educator that inspires you.
My flowers are to you, because even when the years are passing by, you still bien jalador, a hard worker. There you go.
Thank you. Who do you recommend that people should follow?
Who, what? I'm sorry?
Who should people follow on social media? Who do you recommend?
My sister.
Yes. All right. Well, here we go. Which one song embodies you as a person?
We Are the Champions.
Eso. Here we go. What is your favorite quote?
Live the present is a gift.
Love it. What is your favorite cheat food or sweet?
Chocolate cake with cherries on the top.
Andale. How can people reach out to you? How can they get a hold of you?
My email, dayala@yisd.net.
Otra vez.
dayala1@yisd.net.
I love it. Thank you for sharing. Carlos, here we go. Give advice to either a new teacher or administrator.
Just a quick advice. I think this is going to be applied to teachers or administrators. I think relationships are key, but meaningful relationships, connections are going to take you far. So whether you're a teacher to your students, an administrator to your staff, director to your employees, make sure you have a connection and get to know them. And then you'll see that everything will work out in the end.
Beautiful. Read a note, an email, text from a teacher or student that inspired you.
So we always get a lot of negative with the food. I've been getting kind of lately. I've been like have my tomatoes thrown at me, literally almost. The other day we had a meeting with parents, and there was a parent that sent me an email, and I'm just going to read a couple sentences real quick. I wanted to say thank you for the info yesterday at yesterday's parent meeting. You'll have a lot to deal with when it comes to food served to our kiddos. I'm very grateful for everything y'all do and the cafeteria staff for providing meals. Just know that my daughter loves the lemon bread, and she talks about it for days. Thank you, Ms. Chavez. So just wanted to share that positivity, because sometimes with food, there's a lot of negativity, but there's a positive right there.
Perfect. Send some flowers to a current educator that inspires you.
So I actually want to send my flowers to. I'm actually a part of a group. It's called the Wolfpack. So it's a group made up of retired principals, current principals, directors. There's a guy that works out of HR and in the space department. We have a fireman in there that's retired. We have a lot of people higher ups, and it's a really cool. I invite everyone to have some type of connection or mentoring group that you can kind of check in with. And it's a lot of guys, and it's about 10 people, and it's just good to always check in with a group and just to see how you're doing. And they can always bring you back and sometimes tell you, hey, what's wrong with you? You know, get back to what you're supposed to do. Or also you can motivate them as well. So just a big shout out to them.
Someone people should follow on social media.
Yeah, so a couple of people that are in there is actually Mr. Robert Robledo. He's in Isleta. He's a principal at Eastwood Knolls. He's a really good friend of mine. Also, Charlie Garcia. He's an associate superintendent out in Fort Worth ISD. He's part of this group as well. Also, Daniel Medina. He's a principal at Riverside Middle in Isleta. Really good dude. And then the last person I would say is probably Jonathan Flores. He's a principal in Socorro ISD. All right. Just a few of them.
Beautiful. What is one song that embodies you as a person, your spirit?
This was kind of hard, but I'm a big, I like sports movies. So I think Eye of the Tiger. I'm a survivor. So I like that song. Eye of the Tiger. So
what's your favorite quote?
And that brings me to my quote. I have a lot of favorite quotes, but one of my favorite quotes that I like is every champion was once a contender who refused to give up. So remember that. You guys are all champions.
What's your favorite cheat food? Sweet.
I love pizza and I love chocolate. So then I me guardes un pedacito de pastel.
So normal.
I like
how can people reach you?
You can reach me at my cell. I'll give you my cell. It's 915-252-3265. And then my email is carlos.villalobos@clint.net. You can find me on Twitter as well.
What's your handle? What's your handle?
My handle is a hashtag Mr. V _CMP.
Normita, give advice to either a teacher or an administrator.
Well, the only advice that I can give to a teacher or administrator is that you need to be our best friend. We are your best friends. We know everybody firsthand before they get to you. Like I said before, we're your shield. So yeah, love us. Just love us always.
Read a note, an email, text from a teacher or student that inspired you.
You know, for the notes, I could read you emails, notes, even letters from my past students or even present students. I'm in a middle school now. But I think every student is important to me. They all teach you lesson life. They all have something special to offer to this world. So just treat everybody with respect. And, you know, just like Mr. Villalobos said, treat everybody the way you want to be treated.
Send some flowers to a current educator that inspires you.
Miss Laura Lickridge, counselor. She is in her 47th year as a counselor, as an educator. So she inspires me every day.
Who should people follow on social media?
You, sir. You inspire people. Yeah, it's ever since I met you. My God, you know, all those screams to the kids. Hey, mama, papa, please treat your kid this. Oh, believe me. Yeah, they should all follow you, sir. And I'm not saying this because I'm here, but yeah, you inspire people and you should know that.
Thank you very much. I don't know. When you guys do that, I don't know what to say next. All right. What's one song that embodies you? Your spirit. Una canción de Normita.
Okay, I'm a 17-year breast cancer survivor. So one of the songs that I actually love is The Climb by Miley Cyrus. You know, there's obstacles in life. There's mountains that you have to climb and overcome. So yeah, that'll be the song.
Beautiful. What's your favorite quote?
My favorite quote is, there's only one person that can make you happy in this lifetime, and that it's you. So you need to love yourself.
What's your favorite cheat food?
Oh God, don't even get me started with that. But I will say pistachio ice cream and almond joy and sabritones, of course.
Inside joke right there.
Yes,
You gotta explain what that is, though,
I
right?
can't. It's an inside joke. All right,
yes.
here we go. How can people reach you?
They can reach me. You know, I'm a proud member of the Hanks community. I work for Hanks Middle School. So I'm representing, again, El Paso, Texas, Hanks Middle School. So you can reach me there, Hanks Middle School, 915-434-5300. You can ask for Miss Garcia. I'm there 24/7. I guess I sleep there. I'm almost there, always there.
All right, Kashanta, here we go. Give advice to either a new teacher or administrator.
I think the main thing is to get to know your people, everyone by name. I mean, I know that it's important that we know the students and everything, but it's also important that we know the custodians, that we know our lunch handlers, that we know the person that comes and cuts our grass. Getting to know the individuals that are in our building, not just because they're in our building, but because they are individuals that help this organization stay afloat. So I think getting on a first name basis with the individuals because they are the foundation.
Read a note, an email, text from a teacher or student that inspired you.
Well, this isn't from a teacher or a student, but it is from someone that is a colleague that actually attended one of my trainings. And so just a part of it was that I just wanted to let you know that I truly enjoyed your trainings and all that you have to offer me in our campus. I also wanted to thank Dr. Johnson for remembering the district secretaries and getting us this training with you. In my 34 years, I have never had any trainings offered. In talking to the other ladies, I believe you are a godsend to all of us secretaries because through your training, you helped us find worthiness.
Beautiful. Send some flowers to a currently educated.
Oh, there's been so many that's come through, especially at ECISD. And again, it would be Robert Cedillo, Aaron Bueno, Dr. Zenobia Cryer. Again, these are just individuals that saw me and sees the individual person and not just the job.
Who should people follow on social media?
Miss Norma took it. I was gonna say you. You get up and you do your professional development and you're out there doing your workout, and I'm like, let me get on the treadmill. Josh is on the treadmill, or you're walking with your kids in the mornings or in the evenings, and so yeah, I say you because I absolutely follow you, and you are one of the people that sees the whole. You see the whole organization. Hence, that's why we're here with all of these wonderful individuals today. So absolutely follow Josh Tovar.
Thank you. What's one song that embodies you, your spirit?
My spirit is Michelle Williams. When Jesus says yes, no one can say no. So I absolutely believe that people do not have the authority to block your blessings.
Amen.
Yeah.
What's your favorite quote?
And my favorite quote, let me go to it so I can get it right, is Proverbs. And I'm trying to pull it up here. It is Proverbs 30:32. Do not confess that negative thoughts in your mind, rather speak life to every situation around you. So I am in a speak life, not limits phase. We're speaking life to every situation.
Amen. Favorite cheat food? Sweet?
Oh, I am a sugar ant. So anything with lots of sugar. Cakes, cookies, ice cream, as you can see, yeah, I'm not turning it down.
Tell people how they could reach you, most importantly, for your services. Go.
Yes. So I am KT Executive Services, and you can find me at ktexecutiveservices.com. That is my website. And I do trainings. I do customized trainings for frontline secretarial staff. I travel. I do virtual. So please, yes, come find me. You can find me on Facebook or LinkedIn at KT Executive Services with an S.com, or you can email me at ktexecutiveservices@gmail.com. So yes, please invest in your whole staff.
Love it. Hello, my Faiza. Are you ready, Faiza?
Yes.
Give advice to either a teacher or administrator, new one.
Well, mine was going to be take the time out to build relationships and get to know your students individually, and that would go for administrations too. Get to know your teachers and your staff and build that relationship.
Read a note, an email, text from a teacher or student that inspired you.
This was an email from a student, and it said, "Thank you, Miss Faiza, for reaching out to me when I dropped out. You encouraged me to finish my last few credits when I dropped out to get my GED. I am now a high school graduate."
Woo! Eso! Love it. Send some flowers to a current educator that inspires you.
Mine would be Dr. Margaret Rotacchio. She's here in Garland ISD. She's a newcomer facilitator. Just her passion towards students and her going out of her way to meet the students' needs, it's just inspiring.
Who should people follow on social media?
I'm going to be another one to say Mr. Josh Tovar, my principal. So if I'm another one saying it, you guys will have to do it.
Thank you, Faiza. One song, una canción, Faiza, that embodies your spirit.
Mine would be, it's a song by Harry Styles. It's called Treat People with Kindness. I'm one of those who believes, just be kind and the world will be a better place.
Yes. What's your favorite quote?
It's do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better.
Amen. Your cheat food. Your sweet.
My favorite, my cheat food would be ice creams, hot fudge sundae ice creams.
All right. How can people reach you?
At my Facebook, which is Faiza Queen, or my email address, which is fbbano at garlandisd.net.
All right. And Melissa Spider-Man Melendez. And a big shout out to Dot McKeever-Cheever. Big fan of the Fantastic Four. Thank you for being here. And who is that? Tarsha Hutchinson. Welcome for being here. Here we go. Closing out the show with you, Melissa. Give advice to either a new teacher or administrator.
I would say is listen. Sometimes, it's just listening to your staff goes a long way, taking our opinions into consideration, would mean a lot to us. Like the rest of the group said, to be noticed, to know our name, that would be one of the a key is to listen.
Read a note, an email, text from a teacher or student that inspired you.
My inspiration are my little kids that when they tell me, thank you for driving us to school, and, thank you for being our bus driver, getting all those little cute notes from the students from, that really inspires me in doing my job and, getting up in the mornings. And so I really like when the kids, take you into, they notice you as well, like we notice them.
All right. A big shout out to Mr. Vieira, our cafeteria manager from MPA, and Irene, former colleague that used to work together at Bel Air. Welcome for being here. All right. Send some flowers to a current educator that inspires you.
It would be you, Mr. Tovar, and my Miss Angie Soto, our union rep right here at Socorro.
Thank you. Who should people follow on social media?
Well, you, Mr. T. I think you took the cake today. I think it would be you because you do inspire a lot of people, and you're one of the ones that actually inspired me so many years back. So I would say you.
Thank you, friend. What's one song, una canción that embodies your spirit as a person?
I would say through the everything we go through and the chaos that we all run around through. One of my favorite songs that gets me going is, through it all, is Girls Want to Have Fun. You just have to go out there and have fun and, make the best of the work. When it's a bad day, try to make it into a good day, So I think that would be one of my motivator songs is Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
And that's where she gets the name Spider-Man from.
And it's also an 80s song. So there you go. That's why I got all excited.
Her dancing. We'll leave it at that right there. What's your favorite quote?
My favorite quote would be, I can do all things through Christ who straightens me. I think that, he's the one that is in front of all of us when we go out there. And he's the one we got to give praises to each morning that we wake up.
What your favorite cheat food?
Chocolate. All type of chocolate.
And how can
would be
people reach you? How can they get a hold of you?
through my email at Socorro MMELEN 111 at SISD.net.
Beautiful. Thank you, panel, for being here. Don't disconnect until after we're off the show. Thank you for being here. Appreciate that. You got it. Normally we say the teachers in the trenches. No, these are the trenches. These are the support systems. These are the bags that put up the protection for the trenches. These are the individuals that graduate kids, that get into school, that maintain a beautiful school, feed them every single last day, and are always with the parents, letting them know, hey, your kid is this. I don't know what this is at that moment of the call, but they're the ones doing that at that second. Thank you for panel for being here. And next week, don't forget, episode 24, we will be having first year. It's my first year. Different levels, just like tonight. It's their first year this year in that slot. So find out what they're going through. Are they happy? Are they not happy? We'll find out next week. And the following 2 weeks, the book that I co-authored, Grow Your Why, we'll have authors from that book back to back. So join us. Thank you for being here, panel. Love you. Take care. Y échale ganas mañana. Adiós.